I watched the Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show in its entirety. I was not struck by lightning. My head, obviously, did not explode. God did not visit me and send me straight to hell. I'm still an American citizen. I love this country. And I still think that Lady Gaga looks better as a blonde than she does as a brunette. Let's put all of this into some context. Ever since the National Football League announced that Bad Bunny was going to be the halftime entertainment for Super Bowl 60, the world has been completely at Twitter. Social media has been on fire because either you stood for it and you liked it, you thought it was a great idea, it didn't bother you, or you're an un-American hater of this country and you're ready for somebody to come out here wearing a dress. Oh, that's some of the best parts of all. Because in all of this that we heard, everything about what Bad Bunny was going to do was right there in front of us. He was going to wear a dress, without a question, maybe even 2 or 3 dresses. He was going to come out in favor of the LGBTQ community, and as a matter of fact, shove that down the throats of our children. Our kids would have to sit there and watch what should be a family show, and instead it was going to be all about alternative lifestyles that the damn liberals want to push. It was going to be in Spanish. Horrors. Terrible, because here was a non-American basically just singing in Spanish. Now, of course, you're all catching this because we all know that much of this is complete nonsense. Bad Bunny is an American. It's even funny that we have to continue to do this. And I'm going to make sure this is the last time we do this because we've reached the stopping point on all of this, okay? This was it. Performances out there. Let's cut this once and for all. Unlike some people who believe that Bad Bunny was not an American citizen.
You think Bad Bunny's a good choice for the Super Bowl?
I'm not that knowledgeable about him, but it seems fine, and I don't know why it's a big deal. Seems like a great American artist, so sure.
He's not an American artist, but
he's Puerto Rican. That's part of America, dear.
He is. Not he was, not he's going to be. He is an American citizen. He was born in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is an American territory. Every single person who was born there is an American citizen. So that takes care of that right away. He is going to speak Spanish. Look, let's deal with this in the first side of things from the National Football League. The National Football League is not in this to make you happy, okay? Really, they're not. The National Football League is in this to make money. That's what this is all about. Oddly enough, you may not believe this, but there was a time when the Super Bowl halftime show wasn't sponsored. It didn't have it didn't have tens of millions of dollars rolling into it. It was an unsponsored event. It was there because the NFL went out and got entertainment. And people have made fun that for over the years, there were several times they had this group called Up With People, which was nothing more than people dressed in really nice pastel clothing, and they'd come in and sing good old-fashioned American songs and make everybody feel good. Hell, before that, it was marching bands, college marching bands who'd come up there. But somebody one day thought, we can make money on this. We can monetize this. And right after Michael Jackson showed up, oh, baby, look at the amount of people that are going to watch this. So the National Football League does this for money's sake. Bad Bunny is, and you can't argue with this. You can't. I dare anybody to. He is one of the most popular entertainers in the world right now. Look at any chart you want. Look at his downloads. Look at his social media. Look at the amount of music that's out there. He is one of maybe the most popular musician entertainer out there right now. So the National Football League puts him on the air, and guess what? They don't really care if the 50, 60, 70, 80-year-old crowd is out there pissing and moaning about Bad Bunny because you don't spend the money. Who spends the money are the teens, the 20s, and the 30-somethings. So they go out and they put this guy out there because they know that the teens, the 20s, the 30s, and the 40-somethings are going to say, hey, that's not bad. That's pretty good music. And as a matter of fact, let's not forget that a good part of the population in America is Hispanic. I'm not sure what the numbers are right now, but it's a good part of the population. And most of these people, not all of them, speak Spanish. So they're going to go ahead and create something that will pull them in, that will pull the audience in, that will get 15, 20, 30 million, whatever it is, viewers that they can put out on YouTube, that they can draft out there for the world to see and make a tremendous amount of money because the NFL is trying to make money nationally. That's why they have European games. That's why they have games in Mexico, different places, Australia, wherever they're going to have games now. They want people from around the world to see the NFL as this wonderful sporting event, and the way to do it is not just the game itself, it's the entertainment. So the NFL brought this in and decided that we're going to make Bad Bunny the halftime entertainment. We don't care if he speaks in Spanish. Go ahead. Here's number 2 in all this, all right? Somebody in the NFL offices said, you know, if we put Bad Bunny in here and he just sings in Spanish, guess what? It's going to create all kinds of nonsense. I mean, the MAGA crowd and the far right wing is going to go through the ceiling right now. It'll pump it up, pump it up, pump it up, and it'll make us more money. See, that's what they did because it made everybody so angry. Not everybody, but the people on one side, it made them so angry. It got tremendous amounts of publicity. You couldn't buy this publicity that was out there. And the National Football League, I guarantee you, these are smart individuals. They were up there doing this all. They knew exactly that the social media would explode, that the controversy would explode, that people would not, oh, come on. This is exactly what they wanted, and they got it. Now, let's talk about Bad Bunny for a second, okay? I don't listen to his music. Matter of fact, if you go on this handy-dandy little iPod right here, yes, I know, I still have an iPod. I don't put it on my phone because I've got more music on that than I've got anywhere else and that the phone can handle, okay? There's no Bad Bunny on my phone. It's not my kind of music. I'm not their demographic. Really not. So it doesn't bother me at all that they're in there doing it, that they have him performing in Spanish. Not my kind. Now, as I said, I watched the whole thing. I thought it was brilliant staging. And as a matter of fact, let's not say that it was all in Spanish, because Lady Gaga came out and sung in English. So there was some English there. Now, I will be honest and tell you that it did set me back a little bit listening to the whole thing in Spanish, because I don't speak Spanish. I took 2 years of Spanish in high school. I forgot it about 10 minutes after I got out of high school, which is what most people did. And I'm spending time right now on one of those language softwares, platforms, to learn Spanish again. Why? It's spoken all around the world. And it's a language spoken here in America. I don't mind if people speak it. I wish I knew how to speak it. So I'm going to make sure that I can speak some level of Spanish and I can communicate with them. If they don't speak Spanish, look, I grew up in South Florida. There are still people here who don't speak any English whatsoever because they stay in the Little Havana section and down in that area of Miami, and they have their stores, they have car dealerships, they have carpet cleaners, they have everything you could possibly want, and they speak Spanish. They're comfortable there. Okay, that's America, baby. Guess what? It is that melting pot. Doesn't faze me in the least. I will say that I was a little uncomfortable hearing it all in Spanish because I didn't know what he was saying. I didn't know what the lyrics were. And I'm a music guy. I like to hear the lyrics. I want to understand the lyrics. I think it would have been perfect, and it would have really pissed off a lot of people if the NFL would have put subtitles. Can you imagine that? Everybody's screaming that we don't know what Bad Bunny's saying because he's speaking in Spanish, and here are the subtitles now. And they're saying, here's what he's speaking, here's what he's saying, here's how it goes. But I understand that there are moments that may happen off the cuff, that maybe you can't have automatic translation, which you should in this day and age. But I would have liked to have seen those subtitles. And I'm not a subtitle guy. When it comes to movies, I hate them. But in this sense, it would have really angered. It wouldn't have angered anybody who liked the show already, but it really would have angered the people who didn't like the fact that Bad Bunny was singing there in the first place. And I think that would have been great. Anger them. Why not? Now, let's deal with this whole America First issue and this Turning Point USA extra affair, if you will, the substitute affair. If there is a possibility that excrement could be dropped on a street corner and heated up to about 9,000 degrees, this was it. I didn't see it live. I didn't want to. First of all, I think Kid Rock sucks. And there wasn't an entertainer on that show that I wanted to see. I didn't care about. Not only that, but I knew what they were going to be pushing, because they're pushing Turning Point USA, whom I disagree with in a lot of ways. But that's a story for another day. This all comes down to the halftime show, all right? I didn't watch it live, but I went back and I watched it, made sure that I could download it and see it. It was awful. I mean, God's sake, it was terrible. I mean, the lyrics were bad, the music was bad, the production was bad. It was awful. And not only that, but there were only 5 million people maybe who saw it. I mean, these are the people who really want to push this whole patriotism issue. And that comes down to something else. In all the argument before this, we're told that if you watch the Bad Bunny show on the NFL, you're like the NFL. You hate America. And the NFL is saying they hate America. They hate what this country is all about because they're going to put it up in Spanish from a guy who's not American, which he is, okay? We've already solved that, okay? He's an American citizen. But they're going to say that because they did it in Spanish, you hate America. And it's going to say something about alternative lifestyles. It didn't. I mean, not only that, but look how nice it was. He gave that little kid his Grammy. Okay, who knows if the kid got to keep it or not. But everything in it was proper that I could tell, okay? That I could tell. When he was sitting there listing all the Americas and all the countries, I thought that was great. He took a shot at Donald Trump. I still don't know what he said, but whatever it is, I'm sure it was earned. And in the end, he had that football and that signage up that basically said, we're all together, we're all Americans. This is what it's all about. Outside, instead of speaking Spanish, this was one of the most American Super Bowl halftime shows of all time. Because there's people who've been complaining from the very first moment that, oh, we don't want foreigners out here, and he's not an American citizen. The Who, the Rolling Stones, Rihanna, who else? Who's not American citizens? Okay, Shakira. All these people have performed in the Super Bowl at the halftime show, and they're not Americans. But you didn't hear it all screaming and hollering and pissing and moaning, even though there was some Spanish spoken by some of these performers who call Latin America home. But because the whole thing was in Spanish, you're anti-American. Listen, I'm going to talk to you people right now, and I'm going to talk to you straight up. I'm an American. I was born here. I love this country. I stand for what this country is supposed to stand for. But we have a history of screwing it up for a long time. And there's a lot of things going on in this country that I don't agree with right now. And I stand against them because that's not what this country should be. This country is made of people who came from other countries. Look, I'm again speaking right to many of you out there. Your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, somebody, they weren't born here. Maybe they were. Okay. But how did they get here? Okay. White people didn't just show up here. We came from other countries. We came from Europe. We came from Africa. We came from Asia. We came from Southeast Asia. We came from all these people. It's what the beauty of this country is that we are this mix of so many wonderful cultures. And yeah, we don't have to agree with everyone. We don't have to agree with every culture. We don't have to agree with every language that somebody speaks or every deity that they honor. But that's still what makes this a great country. That's why I stand for this country. That's why I'm an American. That's why watching Bad Bunny didn't bother me at all. Because in the end, here's the last part of this, okay? It's a lousy 15 minutes of music. Do you realize what we've done in the last several months? How this has become a dividing point in America? 15 lousy minutes of music on a sports show, on a football game has divided us to where there's a group of people out there who are saying, it's un-American, it's bad for my kids, I don't want my kids to watch it, and if you watch this, you're not American. Oh, bullshit, and go away. If you didn't like it, that's okay. Really. And if you didn't like it because you didn't consider it American, that's okay. Really. It's okay if you didn't like it. I don't hold it against anybody if you didn't like it. It's okay. But don't try to create this as some sort of an all-American nonsense, okay? But it even comes from the other side as well, because on the left, there are those who are saying that this shows who America really is. Everybody has used this to further their own agenda going forward, when this is not about agenda. This is about a football game, which sucked from my perspective because I'm a Patriots fan, but it still was a great game. Kudos to Seattle Seahawks. But at the end of the day, it was used for something by everybody else to tell me who we are, what you're supposed to worship. And as a matter of fact, don't forget the Turning Point USA, we made sure to put God in there. Yeah, they put their God in there. I didn't see anything mentioned in it about the Jewish faith, about the Hindu faith, about the Muslim faith, about the Buddhist faith, about anything else except their faith. That's how this was all used. So let's stop. Let's make this the last time we'll get into this. I know I'm kidding myself. Because look, the whole Colin Kaepernick thing came around, and we're still talking about it to this day. And there are still athletes out there at the Olympics right now who are saying that we are proud to be Americans, but we don't agree with everything that America does right now. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. They disagree. You don't have to agree 100% with your country. You don't have to agree 100% with the NFL. You don't have to agree 100% with the Super Bowl halftime show. But stop making it something that's going to change the world. Maybe it will. But the fact that it's being used by everybody as this hate and fear and propaganda, that's got to stop. And as far as I'm concerned, that stops with me. Unless something comes up, I'm not going to talk about this anymore. Because, again, I watched it. It didn't offend me. I was uncomfortable. I'll be honest with you. I was uncomfortable because I wish I knew what he was singing about. I wish I knew the lyrics. I heard Lady Gaga's lyrics in English, but I really wish I could have understood better. I wish there would have been subtitles. I wish there would have been something that would have spoken to everybody. But I watched it, and I'm not taking it, not a matter of seriously. I'm not taking it hatefully. It's okay. It's gone. And next year, we'll see what happens. We'll see what the NFL puts in there next year to piss somebody off. But remember, it's all about making money. That's what the NFL is there for. It's not meant to make everybody happy, because I guarantee you, when acts like the Rolling Stones and the Who that I mentioned earlier, when they performed, not everybody liked them. Okay, they walked away. Here's the thing. Turn down your sound. That's all you have to do. You can sit there and watch the game and use it as a halftime. Go to the bathroom. Go make a hot dog. Go fry another burger. Go have another chicken wing, whatever it is. Go to the bathroom a second and a third time. But you don't have to listen to it. You didn't have to listen to it. You could have walked away from it and turned it down. And for everybody who went over to the Turning Point USA show and said, this makes me a real American, you're full of shit. This doesn't make you a real American just because you listen to an alternative show and you like it. But if you listen, it's okay. But don't tell me that you're more of an American because you watched this. Don't tell me that you care for your children more because you watched this instead of Bad Bunny. Don't tell me, and don't try to tell me, that I hate America because I watched over here and I didn't watch your show. That's the nonsense of all this. It's a 15-minute music show. It's done. Let's move on, America. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can put this behind us right now and make it a learning message, if you will. You know I'm just really kidding, don't you? You know I'm being naive, because that's not going to happen. We're going to live this for a long time. Okay, maybe it'll teach a few people. Maybe it won't teach a bunch of other people. But at the end of the day, it's over. Let's move on.